Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and in today's video, sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms, I gotta tell you that Martel is back, and maybe he never left. Bro, it is insane that in 2024, I'm showing you a report with a straight face, not just one, but I have many of these, where Martel with Attila might honestly just be the most OP counter rally in the game. In fact, it's weird to say that Martel is back, but also Attila is back, and that together they work. Now, I'll explain exactly why this combo works. And if you're subscribed to the channel, you know I always put timestamps in the video, so you can jump to whichever part you'd like. This happened live, by the way, on stream. We were experimenting with combos because I think experimentation is a good idea at the start of a fight in order to figure out what really works. Then you double down on that combo once you know what is really, really slapping. And this absolutely slaps. Not only did we get this report where, look, I think we issued more total deads in this counter rally than the rally in Garrison had. But if we look further here, here's another report, almost 1.4 million troops. Here's another report. We killed a few, but look at the trade. 150,000 to almost a million. Okay. Here's another one. 2.3 mil sevs to 1.2 dead and almost 4 mil sevs, 3.846. Then, I mean, just do this all day, man. We got another one, 2.2 to 4.5 sevs and 500,000 dead troops. And this is a Skippy Emilianus with Attila. This one, 916,000 to 409,000 deads and 1.9 million sevs. So, you know, look, we got like reports and reports and reports and reports. And like, of course, Attila Liuchez also kind of slapping here. But like, bro, it is absolutely insane what you can do with some of these counter rallies. Now, this is a rally on the pass, but whatever. We got just tons of these reports, man. So anyways, this is not against a weak kingdom. This is against 365, one of the strongest kingdoms in the game. And we're doing this with 2A kingdoms and just filling through, you know, filling the counter rallies. So what the heck happened here? Well, there's a bunch of things that are happening. We're going to look at the Charles Martel. We're going to look at the Attila. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a look at this KvK format. This KvK format's the king of all Britain. It's the new KvK format. And there are these things called stratagems. Stratagems are not new. They exist in other KvKs as well. And there's several stratagems that make this possible. One of them is the fact that whenever you initiate a rally, if one of your commanders is serving as the garrison commander, the rallied army or garrison deals 20% more counterattack damage. All right. So it says if you're serving as a garrison commander, but pretty sure this works for rallies and counter rallies. So right back at you, increases it to 30% total. So 30% counterattack is pretty good. All right. Pretty good. Hymn of Heroes is giving you more all damage as you get dead troops. I used the martial talent, and there were a couple others that I had active at the time. The most important of those I actually already have purchased. It is Berserker Blood. Deal 5% more damage, take 3% more damage. Debatable if you'd want to use that. Anyways, this is pretty crazy. All right. So that's part one of the combo. The fact that you can get a bunch of extra stuff going on from your stratagems. Part two of the combo is the Charles Martel, obviously. If we're going to look at the Charles Martel, we made a special talent build for him. I'm happy to share it with you. It's not exactly secret. I did it on stream. There were two variations we did. One was the variation when they weren't swarming and I needed to generate rage. The other is the variation where they were swarming and you don't want to generate rage because they're swarming and that does it for you. Let me explain. There's a rage cap in this game. It's 220 rage per second. If you are getting attacked, you get extra rage for each thing attacking you. Therefore, when you're getting swarmed in a situation like this, like crazy, okay, you don't need extra rage because you're already hitting that 220 per second. So we dropped the rage talents for just a little bit of extra stats. It ain't much. A little bit of extra damage to calves. That is actually pretty meaningful. And voila. You've got the build if we're under heavy swarm. The build if we are not getting swarmed. And quite frankly, you could even switch mid-rally between the two builds, you know? Oh, we're getting swarmed? Boom. Put it on this. We're not getting swarm. Switch back. It all depends on your interest in spending gems. And with reports like we were getting, you might want to spend some gems. That was crazy. I didn't switch mid-rally. This is something that I've sort of realizing as we talk about it now, that like you could do that. So this brings us to, well, Chisgule, like what kind of equipment did you have to pull that one off against one of the strongest kingdoms in the game? My equipment is pretty legit. I had on this gear over here. It is the KvK Weapon and Helmet Tier 5 Crit Iconic, the Hope Cloak and Eternal Night Legs, Tier 5 Crit Iconic, the Set Gloves and Boots, Tier 5 Crit Iconic, Greatest Glory, and the Ring, Tier 5 Crit Iconic. You could accomplish a better result theoretically by using the Vengeance. If you knew you were going to get swarmed, that'd be better. It's more counterattack. But given that there were times where we weren't getting swarmed and I don't have it, going with the Ring was awesome. If you wanted to survive, then you could be using Coin. Coin would also be outstanding. Okay. This thing would be triggering basically on cooldown with that many things hitting you. 10% chance for each thing hitting you to grant this shield, but you can only get one shield at a time from this, right? So only one trigger per second, I believe. And there's a 5-second internal cooldown, but like basically once every 5 seconds, I would assume you would be getting this shield under Heavy Swarm. As long as you've got like more than 10 things hitting you, that's probably the case, all right? A couple more things we need to talk about with what I had set up here. It is important to showcase the armaments I had on, which are completely busted. The Arch formation is all about normal damage, which is going to be insane for hitting, well, not hitting people, but like doing damage back to things that are hitting you. So I have a ton of attack, defense, health, and all damage here, but, you know, Fearless gives me a boost to normal. Invincible increases my skill damage resistance and is boosting my normal as I get low. Also, we've got a boost to normal over here, which is pretty nice. And I am generating an absolutely insane amount of rage already, so I generally don't like losing rage. I think it's pretty bad. But the stratagem is honestly kind of This inscription is honestly kind of questionable these days. Uplifting, getting to a maximum of 5% normal damage here is not bad. It ain't bad. All right. So on top of all of that, Charles Martel has 20% health, 20% defense, and 30% counterattack. And he gives you a shield, which means you'll stay alive, and boosts your damage by 30%, which in turn is enhancing your counterattack damage. So you are doing stupid amounts of counterattack damage, and we're not done. Because this little old building called the Museum now has a tier 3 version for Charles Martel, which is giving me a grand total of 50% attack and 10% infantry health, which is disgusting, by the way. Also, it's worth mentioning that Attila has a museum buff here, which does convert over to being for the right troop type if you use the artifact, which we were, making it so he would get 5% more defense and 3% more skill damage taken reduction, which is like, oh my God, it's so insane. Okay? It's so insane. But we are not done. Because the second piece of the combo is very important, and that is Attila. Now, in this KvK, you can get an artifact. I showed you that from the Stratagems. And I took Attila, and I made him an infantry commander. All right? So the way that works is through this little sucker over here. There we go. Gives you infantry attack, and when a troop secondary commander is equipped with this artifact, any skills or museum relic bonuses that have apply to one single unit type will apply to infantry instead. There it is. So you basically make Attila an infantry commander. This is not a new concept. My group popularized the Gorgo Attila strategy, and it was so powerful that it stopped, at the time, 1960 strongest kingdom in the game in their tracks. It was crazy, right? So we were, busy getting mocked as being this irrelevant, worthless little kingdom, and like here we were as an irrelevant, worthless little kingdom, stopping the strongest kingdom in the game. At the time. One of them, certainly. So anyways, Attila, powerhouse. Why? He increases your normal damage by 30%, which, by the way, means the damage you deal directly to your target and your counterattack damage. Plus, he gives you 30% more counterattack damage added on to the normal damage bonus. So this is 30% basic damage and 60% counter damage. And that lasts for only a couple seconds here, for 4 seconds. In addition, when your troop launches a basic attack, you have a 50% chance to reduce the target's attack by 50% for 2 seconds. So you actually have a chance to debuff the enemy's rally as well, which ain't bad. You're debuffing the attack of the rally. That ain't bad. Okay, so it's a counter rally that's legit. If this commander's troop is attacking a city or stronghold, well, you don't get any of the benefit of this. Tragic, but is what it is. You do take 15% less skill damage, which is awesome, and get 40% cav attack, which is awesome. It becomes infantry attack with the artifact. And if you contain only infantry, is what this reads once you switch them over, when you launch a basic attack, you get potentially 100% damage bonus, which is insane. And very critically, your troop is immune to being silenced, and you deal 20% more normal damage to troops with less than 50% of units remaining, which means, well, things are getting shredded when they get low. I don't know exactly how this works, if the things swarming you need to be below 50%, or if you just get 20% more normal when your target is below 50, which would be even better, because that's insane. So all that to say that this combo absolutely freaking slaps, and I would run it again. Now, Skippy Emilianus also is absolutely fantastic for, running a counter rally. Skippy with Martel could work. Martel primary with Skippy might even be better, because this only works when you're hitting a city or stronghold. So he can be the secondary. Yeah, I think you might want the Charles to be the primary. I mean, the reason he's a good primary is because of the smite tree, and that is very powerful. Even just for this rage reduction is very good. But yeah, man, who knew that going into 2025, I would be running a Charles Martel with Attila counter rally, and that I would serve one of the strongest kingdoms in the game, an absolutely absurd number of dead troops doing it. All T5, swarming, by the way. And some players got wrecked more than others. And it's one of those things where, like, with experience, you know what's going on. But also, if you're playing in dot mode, it will be super, 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 super easy to accidentally swarm the rally and then lose 10 million power without even realizing that it's happened. And I believe there's a setting that could save you here from this absolute tragedy of an outcome. But yeah, absolute savagery here. And a part of the reason is you have to keep this counter rally full, right? You have to fill through the pain. And if you can fill through the pain, the people that swarm you are going to get just absolutely dumpstered in a way that is genuinely jaw-dropping, right? Like it is actually jaw-dropping that's how that works. Yeah, pro. Absolutely crazy. And like this, we could scroll through this for a while, and there'll be more and more people who's got just these insane amounts of dead troops, or low amounts, but like eye-popping 170,000 dead troops, 147,000 dead troops. I mean, we took like 5 to 10 million power off this dude. Just from this one counter rally, right? 203,000, like 52, 20. Oh my God, 185, right? And I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, you forget to heal your hospital once and you could end up in this situation, which is kind of awkward. I don't love it, to be perfectly honest. 169,000 dead troops, GG. How do you feel about hospital overflow? I don't know, bro. It's a little crazy. Maybe there should be situations where, like, you don't get completely dumpstered when you accidentally don't heal your hospital, especially because the screen doesn't... I can't believe this is the case. I would love to see this changed. This would be my literal number one change to the game. And if I could wave a magic wand, which is kind of crazy, but like, in addition to making you have an unlimited number of helps for hospital healing instead of being capped, I think what I would do is I would make it so that when you zoom out, you can see your power. Like, it's jaw-dropping to me that you can't see your power when you fight in dot mode. In some ways, it almost, like, you need dot mode to play, but like, you run the risk of getting absolutely savagely decimated because you were in dot mode, because you can't see that your hospital's overflowing. You just wouldn't know, right? And you get a little mail notification pop up that you probably won't see in the bottom right, but like, Yeah, there's just not enough visual indicator that like I actually think your screen should glow a different color. That's an easy solution, right? Your screen should just glow a different color if your hospital's overflowed. That actually, this easy. Bro, I should design. I'm a designer. Your boy Cheese, master designer. Okay, I'm done. I'm done now. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. If you enjoyed the video, throw a like on here, consider subscribing. If you want to see the live stream where this happened, I'll have a card in the end screen. Also, the next day was a good time. I live streamed that too. Very fun. Card in the end screen. Go check it out. These were some crazy streams, man. And consider voting for me for Guide Creator of the Year for Rise of Kingdoms. There's a link in the pinned comment that'll have that. You can vote every day till December 22nd. And I deeply appreciate your support. If guides like this are helpful and entertaining, please do vote for me for Best Guide Creator. It would mean a lot to me. Until next time, you have fun smashing your enemies, bro. GG's.